The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
What's up and what is going on, fellow fanatics? Appreciate everybody that is here. Appreciate all the ones that are coming in and everybody that wants to hear what we thought about Deadpool and Wolverine. This has been a long time coming. As far as this film goes, this was announced a while back, and everybody, at one point in time when we put out our most anticipated list, it was and still has been on my most anticipated list. And I will say, before we get into anything, it did not disappoint. It's a fantastic film, but that's just, like I said, keeping it kind of lighthearted first here. But before we get into everything, our thoughts and everything like that, I will say one of the things that they did phenomenal in this was the overall film. It does not progress well. Before I go into any of that, Corey, we'll let you go first. What were your just overall thoughts on the film?
Overall thoughts. Fantastic film. I mean, obviously Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman killed it, and then killed it again and again and again, but they did great. And it was funny, it was good, it was emotional, it was action-packed, it was a very typical Deadpool movie, but more. Mm-hmm. Definitely more. But it also felt like a Marvel movie. So I think they did a really good job of meshing the two together. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. My overall thoughts before we go into the details of things, and again, this is no spoilers. I'm not going to give anything. I'm not going to spoil anything for those that have not seen the film and are still going to go see it. Overall, for me, I will give Deadpool and Wolverine, if I had to rate it, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, or maybe even 8 out of 10. And some of you that have seen it might be like, oh, how are you not giving this film anything but a 10 out of a 10? It was amazing. It is a great film. It's not a flawless film. It is a great film. It's not flawless. The story sometimes gets a little rocky for me personally. I thought overall the film was a great film. I thought it was fun. Because, one of the things I've said from the very beginning about Deadpool, when all the rumors were going around that Deadpool is going to change the MCU. The MCU has been dead since Endgame, and Deadpool is going to be the Marvel Jesus that resurrects the MCU. It does not do that.
Yeah.
As I've said before, when we were going into Deadpool, and again, please just don't come in thinking, oh God, this guy hated the film, or this guy, if this is your first time watching, thinking like, oh, this guy is one of those guys that's out there that hates Marvel. I love Marvel. I think that, the MCU is great. I love the poetry, like Star Wars. Everything rhymes. It all connects. One film takes you to the next. I love all that about Marvel. I, grew up on Marvel, read comics. I love all this. But I'm also not going to sit here and give you this fantastical review unless I felt fantastical leaving the theater. I did feel great leaving the theater. I felt like, damn, this was fun. I don't think there was a time in the film outside of the emotional grabs that I was not laughing. That there wasn't a time where I wasn't like, damn, this is funny. But I feel like that just comes packaged with Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
As I've said many, many times before, with or without the MCU, Deadpool 3 would have been a good film, in my opinion. You nix all the multiverse, maybe you don't get Hugh Jackman and maybe some of the things like that, but you still get Ryan Reynolds at the heart of it being Deadpool. And some people might have been saying to themselves, well, to be honest with you, I wasn't even going to this film for Deadpool. I was going for Wolverine. And that's fine. But I'm just saying, without Hugh Jackman, without the multiverse, without the TVA, without the MCU properties,
Deadpool would have made money.
I don't think it would have made the billions it's going to make from, everything that's happening in this film. But I still think it would have held up on its own. The other two did fine. The first one's fine. The second one is fine. Deadpool is not one of my favorite characters in Marvel, but I do adore I'm not going to say adore. I do like Deadpool a lot. I do like when he comes in. I think, for me, it's kind of moderation with Deadpool. I think some moments he fits, some moments he doesn't fit. And this is, I don't know if this is a spoiler. I wouldn't call this a spoiler. This is something that, if you've been in these spaces, it's been going around for a long time within the talk around Deadpool, that you know, the scoopers were talking about Marvel wanting Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds to return for Avengers 5 and to return for Secret Wars. And of course, if you know these stories, you know the multiverse, you know where we're going, of course, these characters are going to return. We're going to see Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool again together with other MCU property characters. That's where just like in comics, where it bothers me with Deadpool a little bit. I love Deadpool, I love Ryan Reynolds, and even in this film, I'm not going to sit here and say that there weren't moments that were emotionally grabbing, because there were I this film where Ryan Reynolds really buckled down and gave you the emotion from Deadpool rather than the funny. And I love the funny. Don't take away the funny.
Yeah.
But he gave you the emotion with it, and of course, hats off to Hugh Jackman for sure. This Logan is different from, and I've heard this said before when I was listening to another review, and I completely agree to this. This Logan is a completely different Logan than we've gotten in any type of property, X-Men property from Fox or anything that Hugh Jackman has done as the character. This is a completely different Wolverine, and it felt different. It was great. The costume, the comic accurate costume was great. Hugh Jackman coming back obviously was great. So I loved all of that. Like I said, it definitely is a fun film. It is fun. It is something that, you know, this slump that we've been in the MCU, this feeling like, for us content creators, for me personally, I don't want to speak for everybody, but for me personally, feeling like because you want to report on something, or because you have an audience that is listening to you, feeling like I have to watch this, or I have to watch that, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. I didn't really want to watch Echo, and no, we didn't put out those reactions, but we did report on Echo. I felt like that was a have to do thing,
right,
to report to everyone else. But this did not feel like, oh my God, another MCU.
We have to
you gotta go. No, this was great. This was fun. This has rewatchability. This is something that I feel like I'll go see a couple of times over and over and over again. This was a good film. Again, hats off to Ryan Reynolds. Hats off to Marvel and Hugh Jackman, and to everyone involved with this project. Everyone involved should be very, very proud of this. It's great. It is great.
Yeah.
It's a great film.
I do feel like they definitely did a good job of, like I said, bringing in Deadpool and the whole X-Men into the Marvel with this, but do I think it answered questions? No.
No.
Do I think it's going to move us forward within the timeline? No. Like, I just didn't get that. But we've kind of already said that before, you know, in the last few videos that we've done. We've kind of all three agreed, like, is this going to be a great movie? Yes, but is it going to, like you said, be the messiah of Marvel and get us through this tragedy of a couple phases? No, I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's great.
And that's
Definitely
what, and for me, that's what you get with Deadpool anytime, is
Right.
fun. I don't go to I never watched the first two Deadpools expecting some, you know, deep, rich story. Like, I
Right.
expected to have a fun time in a Deadpool film, and that's exactly what you get. Now, again, this is different from the first two, though. And it's different in a way because it actually is coinciding with the current 30-something Marvel films and other properties that are currently on the sacred timeline being
Right.
told. So but it does do that. But what it does not do, and this is something that we've kind of known, if you're in these spaces, and again, you're paying attention to some of the things that insiders have said, it does not progress the MCU at all. It does not take you. This movie's, and Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy, director Sean Levy, have said this as well. It is its own. It's not a commercial for the next film. That's what they said.
Right.
It's not a commercial for the next film. It is its own film. It doesn't set up anything. The post-credit scene, as you know, again, not spoiling anything, it is nothing to be like, oh my God.
Like, right.
It's fun.
Right.
It's fun. It
just
fits in with Ryan. It fits in with Deadpool. That is all. So don't go in expecting to know, okay, how is this connected to this, or how is this connected to that. Also, I want to say this. I feel like I've gone into, if you've been here and you've been in with our channel for a while, almost every film that we've gone into, we've talked about the plot leaks, we've talked about all the things that could be going on, the cameos, blah, 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 blah. Some of you don't stick around for some of those because you're like, oh, I don't want to know, but we've always covered them. I think Deadpool is the first one we really did. At the beginning stages, we were covering leaks, but we really stopped doing, we didn't even react to the trailers anymore because I wasn't watching them. And so I was just like, I wanted to go into Deadpool completely blind. And I felt like when I sat down, like, yes, like I don't know anything. I was wrong. And it kind of not deflated the film for me. I still had a fucking fun time. But all the cameos, there wasn't a cameo in this film that I didn't know.
Yeah.
There wasn't a cameo in this film, you know, I was hoping there were cameos in this film that I was expecting that didn't happen. I'll say that. As far as when we take ourselves back to the early days of talking about Deadpool and things like that, some of the things that were mentioned were that this was going to be a huge mutant X-Men film where you're going to see so many mutants and this and this and that. You see mutants, mutants, but you don't go in expecting to see the X-Men.
Right.
You know, or anything like that. It is. There are mutants. There are characters from other Fox properties. It is more so a love letter to Fox. As we all know, Kevin Feige worked on the first 3 original X-Men films.
Right.
I believe he worked on the Fantastic Four films as well. That's where he got his start, to where now he's the president of Marvel Studios. You know, so he has a special place in his heart, which we've talked about before, with all these characters, with all these actors, especially Hugh Jackman, and things like that. So this was definitely a love letter to Fox, because you have a lot of Fox properties that do show up in the film that are not just cameos. I will say that too. These cameos that show up are not just cameos. These aren't just
5-second,
yeah,
you know, screen time.
This
like
isn't Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, this isn't Multiverse of Madness where it's fan servicey, where it's just felt like, you know, okay, we're just getting this in here to make make fans go, woo, we love Marvel. Every cameo plays a certain role, and they go on to play that role. So it's not just like, damn, they're so and so, and then they're gone. It's actually they actually play a role in all of that. I don't feel like you have to see any Marvel properties before this. I mean, it'd be nice if you did know what happened in Loki and the TVA, but you don't have to. Actually, I take that back. You don't have to know what happened in Loki. You don't have to know about the Timekeepers. You don't have to know about Kang. You don't have to know about any of that. The only thing that you might be confused about if you've never seen Loki is the TVA.
Yeah.
That's about it. But no, you don't have to watch anything before seeing this. And that was something that I believe even Sean Levy and them said at the beginning. This is not something you have to go do homework for.
Right.
Kevin Feige.
It's its own entity.
It is.
Yeah, it really is. Like, they did such a good job of making sure that, again, like, yes, we're introducing him into the MCU world, but this alone is very much a Deadpool movie.
Right.
And it's very own. It's very much its own, and I definitely agree. It was very much a love letter to Fox, to Fox and the X-Men and even the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
honestly, I think that was Kevin. I feel like that was Feige's way, and also Feige's way of saying bye, but also saying, "Hey, we're retiring these because we have something different on the way."
Right.
I felt like it was a really good way of coinciding that gap, because, you know, we've talked about this the last stream, like, we're gonna have to eventually move on. And if we're gonna, you know, if we're going to keep it going and keep these characters, that's fine, but it's not potentially going to be the same character that you've known and loved, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I will say this to that before I go into the next thing here. We have talked about that. We talked about that the last stream with Marcus and Chill. We talked about not wanting to see, you know, Hugh Jackman continue on the role at forever, not wanting to see some of these other actors be these characters that they've been forever. I will say this. Just with the SDCC started today. Marvel takes Hall H this weekend with huge announcements. I'm expecting some Jaws to be dropped. And the reason I'm expecting that is because I would think that would be on Marvel's mind. We need to drop some Jaws. We need to clear some shit up. We need to address Blade. We need to address Kang. We need to address the multiverse. You know, things like that. I'm expecting Hall H to be pretty epic this year. And I could be wrong, but here's the thing about moving forward with like Hugh Jackman and things like that. I don't with all the interviews Feige has been doing, getting ready for SDCC, talking about Deadpool, he's talked about a multitude of. If you've been online, you know, Feige has done interview after interview after interview after interview this week, and discussing many different Marvel properties. I mean, he even discussed Nova, which he gave you guys a time date for all of you obsessed with Nova. It's not coming out for another 3 to 4 years. What Kevin Feige said, it's going to be a Disney Plus series. So. He talked about everything and anything in between. He even talked about Black Panther. Talked about everything, and I have a video for that coming. Talked about everything and anything in between. He talked about the mutants. He talked about one of the things he said about Wolverine specifically is getting an actor, and I'm verbatim here, this is not word for word, getting an actor that is not, they don't want to replicate Hugh Jackman. They want to do it completely different, blah, 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 blah. And what that signifies to me, coupled with some other things that he was talking about when it comes to the mutants and the X-Men coming into the MCU, and if we're to believe some of these rumors, I can't stand My Time to Shine Hello, but if we're to believe some of these rumors from My Time to Shine Hello, talking about Jubilee and Iceman and Angel are going to be some of the main more focused characters, I would say all the things that Feige was talking about with mutants, and we will find more out possibly at SDCC on Saturday, Sunday, whatever. Don't expect them before Secret Wars.
Right.
And we have been saying this. We've talked about this. The multiversal saga, the mutant saga, I believe is not going to take place until after Secret Wars. So there are some jokes in here that I think are jokes that are actually kind of concrete for the future of the MCU. Don't expect Hugh Jackman to go anywhere as Wolverine. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I think the X-Men that you're going to see are still going to be the Fox X-Men because we still have to have incursions. That's still something we have not seen in the MCU, and I don't think that's spoiling anything by saying that about Deadpool.
Right.
That's still something we have not seen within the MCU,
right.
Is an incursion. And then since the incursions still have not happened, that means that a lot of these multiversal characters, including the Fox properties that we did not see, are still out there.
Right.
And if they're still out there, they have to come into the fold somehow, because we know that that's still going to happen. Which would mean, in my humble opinion, just kind of theorizing here, picking pieces off of what Feige has said and what's currently in front of me, that is going to be the X-Men that is going to take us to Secret Wars, and after that, that's the farewell to probably Hallie, probably James Marsden,
right.
and all of them, blah, 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 blah. And then we'll get our X-Men. But I don't think that the X-Men in the MCU are coming anytime soon. We've got the mutants, certain mutants out there that Kevin Feige talked about as well, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out more Sunday or whatever. But they don't shy away from making fun of the multiverse in this. No. Of course, we talked about, speculated that would be something that would be done.
When I tell you, he shattered the fourth wall. Like, he grinded it down to soul.
Yeah, Ryan's great in the role.
He did such a good job. He did such a good job of expressing everything that everyone's been thinking.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years.
Yeah, they didn't shy away from the multiversal talk. They didn't shy away from talking about how, things have not been good since Endgame. They didn't shy away from discussing anything like that. So again, we all knew that was coming, and I think that also kind of maybe might give some credence to Marvel and what they might actually discuss at SDCC. Like I said, I feel like they have to address that shit.
I mean, it would be smart coming off of, both SDCC and Deadpool and Wolverine are dropping on the same weekend.
Yeah.
So I would think that he would have to.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
gonna get, if he's not gonna bring it up, someone's gonna ask about it. It's gonna get brought up.
Yeah, I'm expecting maybe they do talk about it. There were a lot of things, again, in the film that were speculated that, just aren't in the film. And I think that if you are on Twitter or whatever, I think it was rejected. No, it wasn't rejected. I think this was a credible trade. I think this was like the Hollywood Reporter or somebody like that had reported that Marvel was, and we had talked about this, we didn't speculate it, but when it was a report out there, we talked about it briefly, and it was that Marvel was putting out fake leaks to kind of throw people off, and that was actually reported on from some of the Hollywood trades that so some of the things that were out there, like Dazzler's Taylor Swift or some of the others, things like that,
Right.
you know, that could have been out there planted by Marvel just to throw people off, those scoopers off, to try to make this as surprising as they possibly could. Again, it has rewatchability. It is something I would honestly go see tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun. It's really, really fun, and I really cannot say it enough. Everything, even the promotion for this film. Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman is fantastic. He is. Especially, there's a specific scene for me between him and Wade that's way more serious than some of the funny ones. And it's the speech that Logan gives to Deadpool. Emotionally, that to me that really hit.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, it's a really fun film. But what Reynolds brings to the role as Deadpool, again, you go to the promotion, just the podcast promotion they had for the film. There was just even him on Jimmy Kimmel the other night talking. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is born to play this role.
Yeah.
And I know I don't, and I'm not one of those people that like to say, oh, you know, I've always said that I'm not saying nobody else can do this role, just as I'm saying I'm not saying nobody else can do Hugh's role as Wolverine. But he is Deadpool.
Yeah. It would just be a really hard
Those are big shoes to fill.
For
Huge
sure.
shoes to fill. He is without question Deadpool. Like I said, it is fun. Now, one of the things that I have said about Marvel time and time and time again, Marvel has a very hard task with wrapping up a third act. Marvel's third acts are very rough, very rocky a lot of the time. And even in Deadpool and Wolverine, this third act gets rough. The villains are not, you know, there were reports going around from Alex over at Cosmic Circus and some of the others that were saying that Cassandra Nova, she is the level of Thanos. She is the level of Kang. She's not.
I won't say that.
She's not. None of the villains in it, you know, none of the villains in it.
I mean, she killed it. She
does. Emma Corrin.
She
Emma
was
Corrin.
giving those vibes.
I liked Emma Corrin in The Crown. She was different in this. I had a weird attraction crush on Emma Corrin.
Did she play that part?
Emma Corrin plays Cassandra very, very well.
Yeah.
Very well.
But was she as scary as
No,
Thor?
she's not.
Or
She's not
Kang? No.
No. And I don't know in a Deadpool film that you would even get that type of villain. You're not going to get a Thanos level type of or Kang level type of threat villain in a Deadpool film. So the villains they work within the film. They're just not. They're not this because they were saying that Cassandra Nova is a multiversal threat. Yeah, I didn't get that.
No,
I
definitely didn't get those vibes.
Yeah.
No. Like I said, I'm not going to say that part, but
I didn't get that. But you know, again, Emma Corrin kills it as Cassandra Nova.
I will. I will definitely say that they were definitely trying.
Yeah.
They were definitely trying to give the vibe of I am as mighty as all these other big villains that we have came across. But like you said, the third act is always
that third act gets a little rough. It gets a little rough.
But they pulled it together.
Yeah.
I think they kind of saw where they were like, ooh, okay, this is pulling, and someone in production was like, let's reel that back a little bit.
It's still, for me though, I still, like I said, let me say it this way. It'll be interesting to see him interact with the Avengers.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. He's going to be there.
But like which Avengers, you know?
It's going... Well, again, if we are to believe rumors, apparently in Avengers 5, it is a 60-plus character ensemble. And if that's going to happen, then that's where he's going to... That's where I'm going to assume we're going to see Deadpool next. Is Avengers 5. And it's definitely going to happen. So, the cameos, though, the people, they are fun.
Yes.
I will say that. Every cameo is fun. Every cameo is... I loved every cameo. I thought every cameo that showed up was very, very fun.
And there was only a few for me that I absolutely knew about when we like initially started really talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. But there, after a while, I like anything that discussed them. I just pretty much blatantly ignored because I wanted to be surprised.
To it.
And I would, for anyone that knows, I'm a reactor. And I was reacting because there was a lot of stuff that I was just like, what the fuck?
And even not even so much just the cameos, but there were just like
moments
and like things that were there that made you say, oh wow, okay, that's I know that reference. I know what that's to. You know, there were callbacks to obviously the Fox universe and certain moments that. It's great. It is a great. It's good. It's really good. Like I said, they handle the multiverse well. The cameos, like I said, if you weren't here when I said this originally, the cameos are not just fan service. They actually play a role and are not just in and out.
Right.
They play a role into the story. Like I said, again, it is fun.
It is really fun.
It's fun.
It's really fun.
The last thing I'm going to say about it, as far as like, well, this is not even about it. I guess now we are now looking at what I've been saying from day one, since talking about Deadpool and Wolverine and it being the thing that saves the Marvel Universe. We now have to look at I keep calling him Falcon Winter Soldier. Brave New World, Captain America 4.
Yeah.
Of course, the trailer does show before this. Mm-hmm. I have a video and a discussion coming out about this. They take out the scene of Isaiah shooting at President Ross because it's too sensitive because of what happened with 45 last weekend or weekend before. So that has been removed, and I have something coming out on that too. But that video or that trailer plays before Deadpool, and the entire time watching it, I've seen it. I'm sure everybody in the theater had seen it too, but I saw theater reaction. I don't want to say theater reactions. I don't want to make this plural. Let's keep this singular. I saw a reaction where there was someone that recorded the reaction of people at the premiere. I think it was the premiere for Deadpool and Wolverine. So Wednesday night, and they showed, or Tuesday night rather, they showed them. Everybody cheered after, And if this was at the premiere, obviously Mackie was there, so maybe that's why they cheered. I don't know, but maybe it was just just happy to be there. There was no reaction for Brave New World in our theater. And our theater was a packed theater.
Yeah.
There was no reaction for Brave New World. Not even the ending with Red Hulk.
Yeah.
There was no reaction. No one
really batted an eye.
And I will say this, even the feeling, it was exciting. Everybody was excited to see Deadpool, but I'm not comparing Spider-Man to Deadpool at all. But our Spider-Man, when we saw No Way Home, this was just a regular going to the movie seeing a Marvel film for me. No Way Home was an experience.
Yeah.
No Way Home was an experience that, yeah, it was an experience. The theater didn't feel like No Way Home felt. So I'm saying all that to say we are now looking at Brave New World. That is the film that is going to be the question of where is Marvel currently? Where are we going from here? Because that story is actually going to be a story that is going to progress
into something.
The MCU.
Yeah. That's the one that you have to be. That's the movie that you need to go into with the mindset of, okay, what is, like you said, what is this going to do for the MCU?
Right. For sure. And but as far as like Deadpool, I could go see this a couple times in theaters. I really could.
If I don't think I gave like a rating, but yeah, I would give it a 9.5 for sure. Like,
yeah, mine's still that 8 out of 10. Still a good film. Still had a lot of fun. Like I said,
I liked it better than the second one.
It is my favorite out of them.
I mean,
obviously,
I don't know. It's hard for me because I feel like that the first one was just such a. I have special places in my heart for like classics, and I just feel like it was just a really good classic Deadpool coming to life movie, and
yeah. No,
But I definitely this one did it. This one did it because I think that, like you said, we don't do well with third acts. We don't really do well with I shouldn't say that, because there's heroes out there that have had multiple movies like Cap, and they've all done very well. But there's other characters that we've had in the MCU that the second one was like, all right, but then that third one was just like,
Yeah.
we could have kept that one in the vault. We could have not had to touch that. And I think the last time we've had a really good third act movie, not a third act, but just like a really good third movie, was obviously Guardians of the Galaxy. But then again, I don't want to necessarily compare, but the ambience of just like that, okay, we have to not necessarily get this right, but we have to get this right, not just for the sake of the story, but for the fans. Like a very much a farewell gift to us. And you probably are right. This probably won't be our only farewell that we're going to get from Feige when it comes to Fantastic Four and X-Men. But if it is, I thought this was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
think even if we do bring the same characters back, or we introduce a completely different role of characters for after Secret Wars, like, I think as a fan base, I do agree with Marcus, if anyone was watching that stream, like, we do have to figure out how we're going to move on as far as who plays those characters, because the story in the show has to go on.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Like I said, I don't see that don't expect to see that before Secret Wars.
Yeah, I mean, of course not. That would be...
We'll see all
very
these other
disappointing.
characters, you know. I do believe Toby will be back. I even
think-
believe some of the rumors that were supposed to be in this, some of the rumors that were supposed to be Multiverse of Madness. It is the multiverse. We have not even... Marvel, let me put it this way, we're in the multiversal saga, and we still have yet... This film really doesn't even do that. I will say, it's multiversal.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. It is...
But
It's multi...
We won't...
That's the thing.
I don't want to say
let
that
me put
without
it this way.
spoiling
This let me say it this way without, because I don't think this spoils it. It's a bit more multiversal than Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
It's
I'll
a
give you
bit
that.
more multiversal
I'll
than
give you that.
Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
But we have still yet to really tap into the multiverse. We haven't. It's the multiversal saga. We've not. It hasn't been. It just hasn't been. So I'm expecting, you know, some of these other multiversal projects that are coming out to really be boom, boom, bang, boom.
But if we're having an honesty moment, because I do think we are going to get a Doctor Strange 3 before we go into Secret Wars. I feel like that's just apparent.
They have to.
I just have this feeling that we're not really going to like scratch the surface of actual multiverses until we get Doctor Strange, because
Probably.
At the end of the second one, he calls an incursion. We have not seen that incursion, but, or I guess that whole movie was an incursion in my fucking stomach. But anyway.
Yeah, we haven't seen a live action incursion at all.
I mean, I can't say that because I do like the Doctor Strange movie, but
I guess does the one in the Marvels count? Does that count?
was
Counting
that
that as a live action incursion?
I guess.
I guess so. It was an incursion.
But wouldn't technically the whole Doctor Strange 2 movie technically be an incursion, because she came back and she was like, hey, this was like after the end, and then she was like, hey, yeah, everything you just did was an incursion.
I guess. I don't know.
So I guess technically, I mean, I don't know. At this point, I don't know either. But I feel like the incursion that I think we're expecting, and like the scenes of being in different multiverses, I don't think is gonna happen until Doctor Strange 3, and that's like saying that is like take it with a very grain of salt. That's just my very personal opinion, and even that I don't even know if we're gonna get it, but that's what I would think, where we would see the multiverse.
Yeah, but overall, I do suggest, you know, if you are a Marvel fan, if you are a lover of, you know, just things, fun in general. Let me say this, the last thing I am saying, because this is, this is non-spoiler, so there's really not much more we can say about it without going into details. But this is the last thing I will say. Ignore the people online that want to make you feel like just because you like Deadpool and Wolverine that you are doing a disservice to a certain group or a certain people or whatever. Some people just have sticks up their asses and don't like fun. This is a fun film. This is fun. Get out your ass, go have fun.
Yeah, it's a really...
It is a
don't
fun
take your children
film.
to it, but like a date night, a solo date, friend group, like Darius was saying, if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a Deadpool fan, if you're a Wolverine fan, if you're a Ryan Reynolds fan or a Hugh Jackman, like if you're a fan of anything that has to do with this movie, like you're not going to be disappointed as far as the cinema, as far as the fun, as far as the experience, but also if you are a Marvel fan, don't expect it to fill in holes for the MCU, because at this point it was a homage to Fox, and it was basically Feige giving Ryan permission for him to basically say, yeah, we kind of know the last few years have been shitty, but this is our way of saying sorry, and we're trying to fix it.
Yeah. For me, like I said, it's more so for me. I'm just saying, don't listen to people online that are trying to make it seem like this is not fun. Trying to make it seem like, yes, it's no secret Marvel has not been great. It's no secret that there are certain characters in the MCU that we want in the MCU that aren't in the MCU. There are certain things that we all want, but you can want in one hand and whatever in the next hand. This is it's fun. So don't let people convince you otherwise. It is a fun film, and as I always say, the same thing I said for Never. For me personally, I have to, and I think this is for everyone. You should experience things for yourselves. Don't listen to the things that are always said online. But as far as this film goes, that's all I can really say about it without, because I mean I want to go into spoilers, but I'll let everybody go see the film. Yeah, so it is fun.
Yeah. But
we'll jump into the minimal comments here, and then we will wrap the review.
We'll sign off.
Start at the bottom where Not Again 90 said, Feige was talking all that big talk about he wasn't going to touch any of the film. Logan, LOL, he definitely had to step back on those words. Oh yeah, definitely that. And then I'll say that too, like Stamina said, Logan definitely was acknowledged. It still stays on. It does still stay untouched.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. Everything in the Logan universe is still the same. And again, I almost said something there. I guess that can't really go into it. Cleves17 said, "Bro, I just watched it twice." Yeah, I'm telling you, it has that rewatchability. Yeah, it really does. It really does.
Yeah.
I could honestly see it tomorrow. I could. It has that rewatchability.
Like I might go take myself to a matinee and go to the 21 and Upside.
Yeah.
Go enjoy it again. Yeah.
Yeah, Stamina said, I know you're not out here silent videos, no spoilers when you've been talking. No, we have not been talking. We have been talking about scoops. I will say that. We have been talking about scoops. But if you go back to any of our videos lately, the last scoops we talked about when it came to Deadpool, outside of the Chris Evans thing, last thing we talked about when it came to Deadpool was... I still had Danger as the main antagonist, not Cassandra Nova. Those were the leaks I was covering at the time. It was the Danger.
We haven't really covered.
I stayed away from it. I didn't even watch the final trailer.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about leaks. We didn't go over trailers. We just really, if anything, more so told our opinion on what we thought was going to happen. But I don't think we really got into.
Oh, we dug into them when it was the Danger Room and all that shit.
But that was like. Yeah. What, when it was announced?
That's when I still had the L-shaped desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a while ago, but yeah. Let's see. Creative Production said better than Endgame.
Not too much now. Not too much.
Endgame is still up there.
It's up there, honey. It is up there.
Stamina said Game Raiders wrote the article I saw about Marvel's misinformation tactics. Yeah, I think that might have been who I see. It may not have been one of the credible trades. It may not have been Hollywood Reporter. Let's see. No More Champagne said, I definitely don't think that this saved the MCU. It's good though, but I don't feel the implications on the border universe, honestly. 8 out of 10. Yep, that's my score. Give it that same 8 out of 10. Chill said, as a member of Recast T'Challa, there was one quote that irked me. No spoilers, but all characters are recastable. Oh yeah, I know the one you're saying. I laughed out loud.
Literally. I think you and me like shared a look, and we were
that
like,
was
"What
funny.
the fuck?"
That was funny. Stamina said, and I don't know if that was some subliminal from Marvel themselves. Even though Kevin Feige did talk about that project, I'm not going to name because I feel like that would give spoilers if I said that. But even though Kevin Feige did talk about that project within these interviews he's been doing,
right?
And he said that the project is a go. I felt like that line had some either
I felt a little hostility. Yeah, I felt hostility behind it.
A hidden message behind it.
But also, like, what did that come from? Like, Kevin and like Marvel, or do you think that Loki came from like the cameo himself? Like,
no. He definitely got no say in what was in the script. He was just. I'm sure he was just contacted and said, "Hey, you want this Marvel check real quick?"
Maybe
that's about all that happened there. But I'm sure he even addressed the rumors. He even addressed the rumors whenever all the stuff was going on about the project a couple months ago. So yeah, so I don't know. I really don't know. But
I thought that was interesting. I definitely felt the same way. I definitely felt like there was hostility. It was spicy. It was very, very spicy, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stamina said, I'm going to watch it one more time to shore up my feelings on it. We'll try a real early show because the good screens are booked heavy. Yeah, that's the thing, too. And I felt like, with the Eternals... No. With Eternals, I felt like when I came out of Eternals, I overreacted with how bad it was. But no, I'm 2 years away, and I still hate that movie. And obviously Marvel does too, because Kevin Feige said there's no plans at all for Eternals 2.
Which is crazy.
Which I tried to tell people that. I tried to tell people back when
But it's
Eternals...
just crazy, because like we just deadass have this big ass...
Yeah, it's true.
So...
Well, that's going to get addressed in Brave New World. But as far as like... We'll see the Eternals again, but as far as like... First of all, as I said when the film was created, it never should have been a film.
Yeah,
you're introducing... You were right off the heels of Endgame. You were... high on the success of Endgame, thinking that your shit didn't stink, and you decided, even though Kevin Feige butted against it with Chloe Zhao, you decided you wanted to introduce 10 new characters in comics that no one even gives a fuck about like that, and try to make that a film that, and the film just sucked anyway. I can't, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't like the Eternals.
It's not like who's going back and like rewatching.
It took me 16 times to watch the Eternals to say, I see what they're doing.
I don't know. I watched it once. No, that's a lie. I watched it twice, because the first time I watched it, I was just very much like, okay. So then I gave it another try, and then at the end, at the second one, I was like, okay, no.
Yeah.
No. What? No.
Yeah, so I definitely felt... I said all that to say I didn't feel like I came out of Deadpool overreacted or anything like that. I just felt like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
that was
a great,
solid
Deadpool movie. Great way to introduce him into the MCU. Like, great cinema. Fucking hilarious. Like, you were literally laughing from the moment it started until the moment it ended. But like you said, Ryan Reynolds did a very good job of honing in on those like really...
If you like the opening credits to any of the Deadpool films, especially the first one, if you like the opening credits to the first one, the opening credits to this one...
Trump's the game. Oh my goodness, so good. Par.
Ryan Reynolds, bro, he is that character.
Man, they really gave him a blank check and said,
and I love the fact that he gets to say not whatever, but close to whatever. Pretty fucking close to whatever now.
Pretty fucking close to whatever.
Yeah. And there wasn't any really addressing past Marvel projects either. As far as like, when we first all watched the first trailer, how we were like, oh, that's happening in this movie, and he's going to that movie. Hey, temper it. temperate. It's multiversal, but it ain't. It's not that.
Yeah,
it's not that. Let's see. Sir Yuri G, appreciate you being here. I haven't seen you in a while. Said, after seeing it twice, got to go to the premiere on Monday. Oh, that's fun. And seeing it today. This movie is still great to me. Yeah, it's great. I will agree. This is semi the most multiversal saga. Semi the most multiverse this saga got, just like No Way Home. Yeah. Agreed. This is it's a smidge more than Multiverse of Madness, but it is
not what I think a lot of us were expecting, or what Marvel was trying to hype up.
Yeah. No More Champagne said definitely subliminal, talking about the line Andre said just finished it and it was good, and you are right about the third act. Yeah, it's just a Marvel thing, I think. I don't know. Even it's just a third act. I love Black Panther, but that third act.
I was just like, where we going? But like I said, they kind of.
Eternals is the best example. You want a shit third act? You go watch Eternals for 16 times. Even the 16th time, that third act is still shit.
You go watch Wakanda Forever.
That's a shitty first, second, third.
But that third.
Tony said, well, were there any people complaining about the villain being a woman? No. I didn't even. For me personally, I didn't even think that.
No, but this is my personal opinion of why. Because there was a character. Well, first of all, there was an actor who played the character phenomenally. Then there was the fact that we didn't have to deplete anyone around her in order for us to be like, oh, look, we have a girl villain now, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to negate one for the other. It didn't seem like, they're trying to check a box. It was just very much, okay, this person is the bad person in this movie. She came in with a plan, and she's trying to execute it.
And I feel like for comic book fans, too, it's Cassandra Nova.
Yeah,
for the fans that went in here probably not knowing who Cassandra Nova is, if there were people, I'm sure there were. Briefly, very quickly, but they do address the comic. We were in the womb together. Trying to strangle me with the umbilical cord, or I tried to strangle with the umbilical cord, blah, blah, blah. He survived. They address it very, very quickly, but I feel like it's just, I don't know. Nobody did, though. That's a good question, but no one did.
Yeah.
No one did. Xavier said there did seem to be more to that line. Yeah, it's all about the same line there. Mm-hmm. Stamina said, I think the quote Chill refers to is only the character's voice rather than some meta layering, but the duality of it was the point, despite that. And then Sir Yuri G said, honestly, I felt certain actors said a lot of things off script, really from that one line by that actor and a couple of lines by Ryan. So we're thinking that maybe not just Ryan, everybody had was able to ad-lib. Maybe. Andre said, was hoping for more connectivity to the main story going forward. I personally was. I'm going to be honest with you. Even though Sean Levy and them had said, I thought maybe they were trolling. I know they said it's not a commercial for another film, but I was still kind of expecting
something.
And this is I don't want to get into this either. The Kang of it all. I'm expecting that at SDCC to honestly be addressed, but the Kang of it all. What are we doing? What is the threat right now? Outside of Reed saying that, when you visit outside of us knowing if you visit another universe for too long, you can cause an incursion. Outside of that, what is the multiversal threat? Because I'm going to be honest with you right now, even with Jonathan Majors outside of the role, inside the role, whatever's going to end up happening with the role of Kang, I don't feel like Kang's a threat. I do not.
Because at first I was thinking, what if the threat itself is like the multiverse is just depleting? But then
that is one of the things. But it's supposed to be.
At the end of the day, no one's addressing how, why.
But it was in Quantum. I know we forget because Quantumania is absolute dog shit. But it was addressed in Quantumania. It's addressed. Kang talks about it when he's. I don't know if it's when he's talking to. Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm forgetting Janet. Those when he's talking to Janet, or when he's talking to Ant-Man and the Wasp, themselves, but it is addressed. He talks about how it's when he's talking to Janet at the end there, when he's talking about how they can't see it, and I don't remember the exact speech, but I'm gonna burn them out of existence, and he explained it then, but Marvel has not. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it at all. Let's see. Official EMG said, "Hey everyone, I just watched it earlier today. I liked it." Yep, same. Like I said, it's solid, fun.
Yeah.
He said it's messy and the editing was choppy as fuck, but I had fun. I thought the editing was choppy, and again, that third act.
There was one scene that I was like, why is this so all over the place?
Marvel's third act. I don't know if they're like rushing the third acts at the end, if they're like, pushing editors or whatever, but that every Marvel third act is rough. I love No Way Home, but that third act is, well, it's still kind of a little choppy, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as the others. So Yuri G said, Hugh coming back as Logan and still being on top form, is the highlight for me in this movie. That, and I honestly wanted it to be better than part 2, and it exceeded that. Yeah, it definitely exceeded that.
You and me both.
It was Hugh's acting for sure, bro. I'm telling you, the scene between him and Deadpool, where he's basically telling Deadpool, and then again, not a spoiler, but because he's telling Deadpool this the entire film, that you're not shit, but when he really digs into him not being shit, that's a good scene.
Yeah,
that's a good scene.
Yeah.
Stamina said, I think Black Widow still holds the title for worst third act. I forget Black Widow on the timeline, personally. So, yeah, I would agree.
That movie is just so late. We should have gotten that when we gotten...
Well, he said at least Makari was putting in work in the Eternals. She was, but I hate the fact that Sprite comes up to Icarus and hits him over the head. Or no, Druid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit was stupid. But then Tony said, do you think every film after this will have to step it up? Brave New World has to.
Yeah, that movie has to.
It has to. Because this Brave New World is not coming in with Ryan Reynolds quips. It's not coming in with being able to touch this property and being able to touch... It is coming in as the fourth Captain America film where you have to convince us as the audience, for those that you didn't convince in Falcon and Winter Soldier, because I wasn't convinced, that this man is Captain America, that he can lead the Avengers. You have to convince us that his humanity, or whatever the fuck Anthony Mackie's talking about, is going to beat the Red Hulk. And there's not only convince us of that, but you have to convince us of the security of the Avengers moving forward.
That part.
We don't know shit right now.
Right.
And for me, I think Black Panther, I think Brave New World is going to be it has to be. I don't know that it's going to be. It has to be that film that really makes you say, because and these are big shoes to fill. They are saying this. I'm not saying this. They are saying Winter Soldier vibes. Winter Soldier vibes. Some of you even said, I got Winter Soldier vibes from the trailer. I did not. I thought the trailer was fine. But I did not get Winter Soldier vibes. And it's just the first trailer. We still have a whole other trailer to come.
Talking about Bucky off the rip.
I didn't get those vibes. So I think that has to be the film that really, really does it. Let's see. Official EMG said, Grace said in her spoiler review, Kang was in a earlier version of the script. I'm sure he was. I'm sure Kang has been in early versions of every script. But since the verdict, and since Marvel made the decision that we know of, we don't know this for sure, just from, the Hollywood Reporter reported on this. This is a trade that said there are no Kang plans moving forward. That they had, more so sidelined. Don't expect it to be as prevalent as it was going. So I'm sure he was in every script.
Yeah.
Because, you set it up that way. The Kang video that I just put out the other day, and we've talked about this before, when Jonathan Majors came in as He Who Remains in Loki Season 1, it was only for the season finale. There was no plans they had no plans. There were no plans going forward. But because Jonathan Majors did such a phenomenal fucking job, because he's a world-class actor, because we've seen him do the things that he's done on screen, not just in the MCU, but outside of the MCU and other films as well, he came in and captivated the fucking room, and they said, That's it.
That's it.
We're just gonna. We want him. We want you to be Kang, and instead of because He Who Remains, instead of connecting him to, instead of making that its own thing, we're going to connect Kang and all of his variants to He Who Remains because of what you just did. So they put every fucking egg in that basket, and when they made, to me, the dumb decision, stupid decision, to fire Majors over the verdict that was given. Not going deep into that, you turned yourself into a huge wall.
Yeah.
Because you Kevin Feige's words, not my words. Look this interview up, or just watch the video we just put out. He said after that performance, I felt more than comfortable in putting the multiversal saga on his shoulders.
Yeah.
So you had no. So now they're rewriting all this shit, and it's. So I'm sure he was in every script. But now it's they got some shit they got to do. They got some shit they got to fix. Nottingham 90 said they definitely took some chances. I'd never expect Feige to greenlight. I think it just speaks to the times that the MCU is in. He's willing to let certain things fly, and it ends in the end justifies the means. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, for one time there was never going to be a rated R film, what he said, and now we've got that in the maybe Blade film. No More Champagne said, that's what happens when you have your main villain defeated by ants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yep. Stamina said, oh, Quantumania's third act. Fuck. You said joint first with Black Widow, haha. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. You're right. That I don't know, bro. That Quantumania third act might be worse than Black Widow. It might be. When I was editing, I had to look up clips, and I had watched the clip of him getting fucked up by the ants when Mordo comes in. That movie's just terrible.
It's bad.
That movie's just awful. Not Again said, to be honest, I don't even care for Kang if Majors isn't. I agree. Don't get me wrong. I've said this before. Let me clarify this because there were people coming in the comments saying it on the video. I like Coleman Domingo. Do I think that Coleman Domingo, and I said this in the video, do I think Coleman Domingo has the chops, the shoe, or whatever to fill? I don't. Again, like Reynolds, those are going to be tough shoes to fill.
Right.
For Kang, because he was captivating as Kang. I don't like Quantumania, but the scenes where he's torturing and threatening. Oh yeah. Those are you believe
and
him
just
as
like
Kang.
just the little ad libs when he was like, "Are you the one with the hammer?"
Yeah.
You know
they
like,
all blurred together.
Yeah,
you know,
like
all
just
that
the
stuff.
little ad libs that he put. Like he really.
This man, and these are again. You can look this shit up. I was gonna put this in the video, but I couldn't find anywhere to fit it in. You know, he was showing up to rehearsals before they were like when they would be filming and stuff. He would go in, put on the suit because you know he was in immaculate shape for this. Put on the suit and jog around the rehearsal arena.
I'm not surprised.
He would do laps. He would do that every morning just to get himself ready for this roller coaster. So yeah, you got some tough shoes to fill. You got Robert Pattinson didn't even want to work out for the Batman. So yeah, you got some tough shoes to fill. Yeah. Whoever this actor is that you pull in, you got some tough shoes to fill.
But I feel like that just really speaks for the actor. Like there are characters within the MCU that are like, okay, you play this role, and I've said this multiple times, because of what they put in the role, because they genuinely love the character, or they, you know, fell in love with the character from the first script and did research and really just honed in. Like, I really do feel like Jonathan Majors went in there and basically told Marvel, I will be your next Kang. And he did. And that's exactly what he did. And it's going to be so hard to find people who have a passion, but also trying to go for their bag. Because at the end of the day, like, you have to eat, you have to feed your family. Totally understandable. But it's just getting to the point that I feel like Marvel's just throwing in all these A-list celebrities, because I mean at the end of the day, I forgot who said it. I think it was some actor or actress who was talking about auditioning for a role for Marvel at one point in their life, and the question is always like, oh, like, do you think your life would have changed if you? And I was like, yeah. Like, who doesn't want to get a Marvel check? Who doesn't want to get a Marvel check? Because you know they're gonna write the check, and you know it's gonna be fat, especially if you already are an A-list celebrity. But to come in into a universe where you've never been introduced and you just automatically portray that role, I feel like, yeah, it's going to be very hard to fill those shoes.
Yeah. Let me see. Sorry, ignorance is texting me. Okay. That just pissed me off. What was I saying?
We were just reading comments.
Okay, comments. Chill said, forget Kang, Avengers vs. X-Men needs no build-up. I disagree. I think Avengers vs. X-Men does need a build-up.
If we had our old Avengers, no. But
yeah.
we don't even know who our Avengers are.
Is it this, because is Avengers vs. X-Men going to be, from what we know from leaks and rumors, it's going to be multiversal. It is going to be if that indeed does happen, it's going to be multiversal. Are we not rushing Avengers vs. X-Men right now? We don't even have Avengers in the MCU. Who are the Avengers? Who are the X-Men? So,
Who are the Avengers? Who is our Avengers? Because as of right now, all we have is Anthony for Cap, Haley for Hawkeye. And I'm talking about just like our OGs, like to replace our OG, That's about. We don't know. We don't necessarily have.
You've got Shuri. You've got.
I mean. Oh, yeah,
okay, so if we just give a tentative list here, very quickly, you've got Shuri. You've got Captain America, Falcon, whatever. You've got the new Falcon. You've got Kate Bishop. You've got She-Hulk. You've got Taco passing out, flannel wearing, Happy Hulk. You've got War Machine. You've got Monica, but she's in a different universe. You've got
do we have War Machine?
Yeah, he. This is after Secret Invasion, so he's back.
Okay.
So out of those that and Shang-Chi, out of the Spider-Man, out of those that I just named, Doctor Strange, sure.
Yeah. Maybe Bucky.
They're not stopping a multiversal threat.
Yeah.
They weren't stopping an Infinity Stone threat. That roster has a hard time with Cassandra Nova.
Yeah.
So no. There's no who are we? Who what are they doing?
Right.
There's no team.
I mean, that's what Stamina MC said. Avengers versus X-Men needs Avengers. They need building up. There are none.
Yeah, there are none.
To think of it, there are next to no X-Men either. Right.
Bobby Williams said Majors was cooking with that role. I was hyped for different versions. I was too. Hyped. I mentioned it in the video. I know a lot of people were dogging him for the Quantumania, but I personally cannot put that on Majors. Because one thing we know about Quantumania, it went through a lot of rewrites and a lot of reshoots and a lot of ads and a lot of this and this and that. And all the messiness that went along with fucking Jeff Loveness. So, one of the things that we know that was added on at the kind of last minute was that post-credit scene. They didn't give Majors time to dive into different acting, how he wanted to portray those personalities, how he wanted to portray Centurion, how he wanted to portray Rama Tut and Immortus. He didn't have time to really dive into that. So I'm sure that was probably rushed. That's why he came in there talking like he needed some halls with Immortus. Scarlet Centurion was very okay. And then Rama Tut, it was messy. And then of course all the screaming ape-like Kangs in the
about to say that monkey
in the arena. So it was.
Oh my gosh!
But outside of that, him as the Kang, as he remains. I didn't like him as Victor Timely either.
I don't know. I feel like he kind of portrayed.
He did. I mean, he did. It was just weird. All this
that is.
I was just like, oh.
Victor Timely.
I was like, dang, when are we getting to the Conqueror? Because this is.
I think I appreciated Victor, and because it just showed his versatility. You know what I mean? Like it showed that he can play this very smart.
Oh yeah, Thor.
Intimidating but timid man, but also turn around and play literally a conqueror. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
I felt like the cards that he was dealt, he played that. He did that, for sure.
Chill said, what's your favorite NSYNC song? Definitely the one he was killing the dancing to.
That one was hilarious.
Not Again 90 said, people don't understand how hard it is to bring comic book characters to life on the big screen. And with Kang, it's times 10. And with Kang, it's times 10.
Oh, no.
Sorry, my pets, bro. God, because of his complicated story, Majors added himself to that character for sure. Corey, read the comments really quickly.
Yeah. Bob Berkins, I totally liked the movie, liked it a lot. It was talking to old comic book fans. Not Again 90, people do not understand how hard it is. Oh yeah, you just read that. Let's see here. No more champagne. Disney, Marvel, give that black man his job back. Do the right thing. Agree. Chillmonger. Yeah, you definitely got Thor's goats. That was unnecessary. Bob Williams, underwhelming line. Up for the Avengers. Yeah, like we've been saying, the roster for our next Avengers is not great. It's really poor. And putting them against anything is just... The MCU has not done the job correctly to build up their next Avengers, because I don't think they were thinking about building up their next Avengers in this next, after Endgame. I don't think that was their plan. They had no plan, but definitely they did not think of a plan of how we're going to build up the next Avengers, and that's why we're here.
Whose comment are you on?
No more champagne, Disney, Marvel, what was it? Oh, Bobby Williams, underwhelming lineup for the Avengers. I was just saying, yeah, MCU hasn't really given us anything to get excited about when it comes to the Avengers, because it hasn't been focused on the Avengers.
Raymond said, so do we like it? Yeah. Are we talking about the
movie? Raymond? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Cinema MC, most of the prospective Avengers don't even know each other yet. There's a lot of work to be done. Exactly. Yep. Tony Robinson, the Power Rangers have a better chance of saving the multiverse than the current Avengers. You're not lying. You're not lying.
Yeah. Let me see here. But anyway, like I was saying to Raymond,
we did like it. Yes,
I like the movie a lot. Like I said, I could watch it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. It's fun. It's fun. I just go into it not expecting, the second time around, I'd go into it not expecting it to progress the MCU.
Right.
That's all. I would just go into the second time not expecting it to progress the MCU, but would I expect, again, like I did this time, to have a good time? Yeah. Fun as shit.
It was great.
Not Again 90 said Year said they have to lose in Avengers 5 because Feige said this will be another film where some major characters are dying. Oh yeah, they definitely have to. They have to lose in Avengers 5. The threat has to be so large, and I don't even know what the threat is in Avengers 5. Is it Kang? I don't know if it's Kang. I don't know if it's, the rumor is it's multiversal villains, like a Thanos, an Ultron.
Okay.
That's the rumor, that it's different, but not just specifically them, others I guess as well. That is the rumor at the time.
Hi, Anthony.
If the original rumor, what we were talking about on the show the other night, the original rumor for Avengers 5 before the messiness with Majors was obviously Centurion, Rama-Tut, Immortus, and some of the others. where the Avengers were going to break off into different fractions. They were going to be the cosmic team that was going to go handle
the different variants of Kang.
That they were all going to go handle different. You had a ground level team, you had a cosmic team. Even in the rumor that you had the Young Avengers facing off, because I think within that rumor you had
Haley.
No, Kid. What is Kang's younger version? What does he call himself? Iron Lad.
Oh, okay.
Iron Lad.
I was like, wait, where are you going with this?
You had Iron Lad in there in that version, and then you had I don't know if it's not. I don't want to say the OG Avengers, but a stronger team Avengers going up against the Kang. So they were supposed to lose even in that to all his variants. To me, you can keep your 60+ ensemble.
Yeah.
That is a much better story, plot, synopsis, whatever. Much better to me than 60+ characters. Cool. 60+ characters with multiversal villains because you fired Jonathan Majors.
Right.
Yeah. Stamina said, "Who even are the powerful people, though? Red Hulk isn't who he's really going up against. That's just going to be Act 1 test that he needs to fail, in my opinion, of course."
Right.
I don't know.
Like we said, we don't
the leaders
know.
In this. We're talking about Cap 4, right? The leaders in this. We don't know who. I guess Giancarlo said he's not playing GW Bridge. So I don't know. Chill said, best we can say is that Deadpool's universe is within the same universe, or multiverse. Well, yeah. Not again said, different heroes against a multitude of Kangs. Man, that sounds so badass. I wish we were still going that. I wish they were still doing that, too. That rumor had me hyped. Especially them breaking off into different fractions.
Right.
Like, okay, this group has to go handle him. This group's got to go here and handle him. We're going to take this group and handle the Kang, the one that was supposed to be from Quantumania.
Right.
Yeah. Rhyme said, best MCU I've seen. Yes, best MCU film I've seen in a long time as well. Not Again 90 said, you definitely speaking facts on that Stamina. Rhymes said, had a few issues. Yeah, had a few issues, but definitely scream-worthy parts in there, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, our theater clapped quite a bit with certain cameos that came onto the screen. There's something I really want to talk about because I thought he did a pretty good job, but no spoilers, we can't. Stamina said, leader is smart, not powerful. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're not getting. I understand. So I know what you're saying. You're saying, who's he really going up against in this? It's not so much of him going up. For me, it's the convincing. I'm not worried about Sam's ability to fight. We've seen him fight, and
right.
Even with the wings, we saw him at the end of. I don't like Falcon Winter Soldier, but the ending where he is doing the fighting stuff, not so much the ground stuff fighting. But the acrobatic stuff he's doing in the air with the wings, I think he's fine there. But it's still the convincing. It's the convincing that he can now lead the Avengers.
Yeah, I'm not expecting him to be a Steve Rogers. I feel like maybe that's what people are trying to speculate that you're trying to say. I don't think Steve. For real. I don't think Darius or me or really any real Marvel or MCU fan expect him to be a Steve Rogers. But like Darius said, the MCU has not set up this man to show that he can lead a team of 5, let alone 60+ characters to come in and fight off supernatural, alien, multiversal.
That's the thing. Okay, I think that's it too.
Villains.
Because let's take Infinity War. When Cap shows up, when Wanda, for whatever reason, and Vision are getting their fucking asses kicked, those are not. That you've got. God, why am I blanking on names? You've got what is her name? Proximity of Midnight. You've got her there with, I forget the dude's name that's with her, but from Thanos' group.
Right.
From the, damn, I'm even forgetting the name of the fucking group. But you've got them there. And when Steve shows up, and that train passes by, and dude throws a spear, and Steve dodges and grabs that shit, and then proceeds to whoop their asses. Captain, my fucking captain. That is my captain.
Like,
that is Captain America. With Sam.
the struggle has been real.
I don't know that I feel that with Sam.
Like, even, like, and don't get me wrong, out of the three of us in the group, I'm the only one that genuinely liked Falcon.
Yes, thank you, Patrick. I'm gonna get to your comment about Agatha in just a second. The Black Order, yes.
I mean, I thought I liked it. I didn't think I liked it. I know I liked it. But I don't necessarily agree with how they set up Sam. I thought it was more... It was giving more Bucky's redemption than it was Sam's our next Captain America, if that makes sense.
And I've even heard, and this could be wrong, you know, I don't know. I don't know if these are things for sure. Obviously, Marvel's not putting these type of news out, but I've even heard it's still not testing well. I've heard that the showings are still not testing well, and that they are still changing and tweaking things. Not reshoots and things like that.
But they're like editing things, tweaking things.
The Isaiah shooting Ross might be completely removed for the deal with Trump, but it's definitely not in the trailer anymore. But that's not to say oh, that's something that, I'm just saying that they're removing things, they're tweaking things, they're changing things because it's still not testing well. So and again, that could all be a pile of fucking shit. That report could be fake as hell, but I'm somewhat inclined to believe it. But Patrick asked thoughts on Agatha. Whew. I love the magical side of things in anything. My favorite, I've talked about this, my favorite season of American Horror Story is Coven. I don't think any season comes close to Coven. Magic and the mystical voodoo, all that shit, it's dope, it's cool. And I like the magical side of the MCU as well, and Marvel. I like the magical side of Marvel. The magical side of the MCU has been cool too. I was really high on what I wanted from Agatha, because of the original rumors, you know, we knew Wiccan was going to be in it, but I thought this was going to be more so of the rumors made me think this. It was going to be more so of it trying to do adapt Children's Crusade, and you know it was going to lead into something bigger and all those things, and that's where the original rumor was kind of going to lead into Avengers 5. You were going to have the Young Avengers that were going to get formed through not just Agatha but Vision Quest, which that rumor still stands as well, and that was all going to culminate together. You were going to get some type of Children's Crusade thing with Wanda. It was a whole thing. When it was going that direction, I was on board with Agatha. The Green Witch, these witches turning into animals, and the Witch's Road, which was always in the original rumor as well. The Witch's Road, which I don't have a problem with. Things, just the other, and the trailer itself. When I sit down, bro, Marvel, and I could be in the minority here, but when I sit down for a Marvel trailer, I need to react. I need a reaction. Because
name me one Marvel movie from Iron Man to Endgame where you did not get a reaction.
Think about that last Endgame, that final trailer, where it's Tony's voice.
Right. If
we die, then we'll do that together too. You know,
right.
that
like every like
that's some shit.
But that's what there wasn't a movie where it wasn't like you said, there wasn't not a reaction. And ever since Endgame, we have not had a reaction unless it was No Way Home, Deadpool. I wouldn't even say no one got a reaction in
I got a reaction from Guardians. I reacted to that trailer. Those trailers were fun.
Yeah.
Those trailers were fun, coupled with a good movie.
Yeah. We did.
But as far as like the reacting to Agatha, I really didn't react to Agatha. Agatha, as I said in the trailer, might. Well, I take that back because I do want to see how Wiccan is handled. I said I wasn't going to watch Echo either, but lo and behold. So I also said with the Acolyte that I was going to stop watching that week to week, but lo and behold, I watched it for 6 weeks. So I'll be watching Agatha. I guess I'll have to see how Agatha shapes out.
Yeah.
I have to see how
we'll
Agatha
see how the first few episodes go. I feel and that's even hard to say because I feel like the first half of the show is decent, and then that second half or that third act, those last 2-3 episodes were just in the same boat of what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So.
Patrick said people are mad about Agatha, but she really is important in the comics. Yeah, she is important in the comics.
She's important to the comics, but as we can see, MCU is MCUing. MCU is not.
She does. She's completely different in the comics as well.
Yeah.
But she does. She is important in the comics.
And that's nothing to
to Wanda in that story.
Yeah.
Even Wiccan and all that.
I love me some Catherine Hahn, but
yeah, I love Catherine.
You know what I mean?
Bobby said even that Infinity War trailer still gets me hype. Yeah.
To this day.
Year said he's better than he was in Winter Soldier. That is true. I will say that. He is better than he was in Winter Soldier. But he has no powers. I don't believe he would survive without the bulletproof suit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, they gotta drop this humanity as his superpower thing. They gotta drop that. He's got to take... They gotta make him like Ultimates Sam, where he does take the serum. And he does have the power.
I was just about to ask you, is that the one where he actually takes it?
That is Ultimate Sam. Or am I
that's...
getting the universes mixed up? It is Ultimate Sam, right? That takes the...
I think that's the only one that I wouldn't even say I read it. I just kind of skimmed through it.
I think it's Ultimate Sam.
Because when Falcon and Winter Soldier came out, I was very much intrigued on just Falcon and the comic books in general, and then I was like really intrigued about the whole Isaiah situation. So I kind of went down this weird rabbit hole of like Captain America comics, and I kind of skimmed over that one, but that one was what I did read was good. And I was like, can we get this one? Because that's what we need.
Oh, well, yeah, Stamina said it's no different. But it's no less believable than Clint not ripping both his arms off, jumping off the building in Avengers 1. Yeah, you're not wrong. But I also say too a lot, the fucker. Yeah, one of the things I say about some of them, like when people were like, with Ant-Man 3, when they were like, oh, because I had the issue too with Ant-Man 3 being so big in scale with him fighting. Ant-Man's never fought a villain like him. So, because...
And it's Paul Rudd. I'm sorry, it's Paul Rudd.
But even so, like, even just Ant-Man in general, if Kang comes descending... If anybody descends out of the sky, no one in the street's going to say, God, where's Ant-Man?
Exactly.
No one. No one's looking for Ant-Man to come and be like, that's, And
no. the whole just tone of it, and then the unseriousness of it, it's like they flopped. You know what I mean? I feel like Ant-Man movies were kind of like that, very comic relief.
It was a home. It was like
everyone, get your
family.
kids. Yeah, like a very family comic relief movie for the MCU, and I feel like the tone was more funny and non-serious, and then with the third one, the tone was very serious, and then when you needed to be serious, those scenes were not taken serious, and it just, yeah.
Let me see. Not Again said, well, Bobby said, yes, he's got to take the serum, the humanity thing. It's his strength. It's going to get Brother murked. Raymond said, the Infinity War trailer will forever go down as the best trailer in history. The Infinity War trailer is dope. It is dope.
Man. I even like it better than the Endgame one.
It is dope.
It's so good.
Those were some good times.
Good times.
Those were some Russo times. Not Again 90 said, we saw him take two defeats to Spider-Man and Ant-Man as well. Oh, that's true too. For me, that makes me doubt the character as a serious leader and a fighter. And Spider-Man wasn't even trying. Spider-Man said, "Guys, I could really do this all day, but Mr. Stark told me I just had to distract you."
Right, and then just flipped away. Like, okay, sir.
Yeah. But that's, and then stops with Raymond saying, "Where's Scott Lang and all this?" Chappelle voice. But yeah, no, like I said, if you haven't seen it, if you have plans to go see it this weekend, I say go see it. Go see it more than once. See it with different people. You can see it with, people that don't think anything about the MCU. It does not matter. Again, you do not have to know anything about. I would say it's more important to know the Fox properties than anything. Yeah. If you don't know the Fox properties, then you might be like, oh, who's that?
Right.
But the as far as the MCU goes, no, you don't have to know anything.
Mm-mm.
You don't have to know anything.
It really was its own entity.
I would, and outside of even that, I would say maybe the only thing, like I said at the beginning, is TVA.
Yeah.
And you really don't even have to know what the fuck the TVA really does. But it's fun. Go check it out. Definitely go see it. It is definitely worth. It's
definitely worth the watch for sure.
We've had our tickets since May.
Yeah.
And I've been counting down the days because this has been on my most anticipated list, and it didn't disappoint
me.
me.
Them tickets ain't cheap, but that was,
I think
last scene with you, it kind of made up for it. I was like, oh.
One of the things I think I just disappointed myself. I disappointed myself just because the film didn't disappoint me. I disappointed me because I was expecting. I'm be honest with you. I'm not spoiling anything, and I want to say it so bad, but I was expecting to me, my X-Men type of deal. I was expecting but it's definitely, the cameos are fun. But that is our review. Like I said, we can't go into anything else without spoiling it. So definitely go check it out if you haven't seen it. I've got some more videos coming out this later this week. I think I have something coming out this weekend, of course, next week and things like that. The channel's doing great. If you watch this review, or if you've seen any of our other videos that have been out these couple weeks, you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscription button. That helps us out a lot over here. Hit the like button on this video as well. That helps us out. And again, check us out in the next. We should for real be live on Wednesday. We'll be live on Wednesday, and then of course Thursday with the Pantheon with Chill and Marcus, and Corey is there as well. And anybody, Q is welcome to come in anytime he wants as well too. But we'll be back there. Any final thoughts, Corey?
No. Go see the movie. Go enjoy it. Go laugh. Go be shocked. Have a great time.
Yeah.
Subscribe, come see me on Thursdays. I'm here Thursdays with Darius and Marcus and Chill. Yeah.
We're all there.
See us.
So hang out. Well, like I said, we do appreciate you guys. Again, appreciate all the new subscribers, love, comments, everything. So like, subscribe. Wait, I see Dan the man said something because he just came in. Dan said, I'm talking about the second I get off work. I got 2 large fries and got my tickets tonight. It was fun. It was fun, not too insane, but good to see my childhood characters back on screen. Yeah. That's what I said. Fun,
very nostalgic.
Not too insane. It's not too insane. But it is fun, bro. It is fun. So fun. Go have fun. Go have fun with a Marvel project, because God knows we haven't been doing that lately. So, but again, we appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate all some of the new comments I received from some of the new faces. Patrick, I think you might be new, and I do appreciate you being here. So, appreciate everybody being here. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out. Go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. It's fun as fuck.
See you guys.
Peace out.
TVMA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations.
Ooh, I did not know that. I did not know that was playing. That is not supposed to be playing, because Kendrick is not being nice about those anymore. The copyright is back on, so we're just gonna end this stream, because I would have to take that song out, and I'm not gonna do that. So go see Deadpool again. Not like us. Peace out.
Bye.